Hi folks, 14th of May 2020. These are some tankards that I just dipped on the inside, only. So I'm just scrutinizing them. Yeah, I just wipe it off across the top here with a sponge, so they're dipped dry. And as soon as I've dipped them, I'm going to do some, so I'll show you. And I'm also going to do some GP bowls. I've just got my solitary cone 10 here prepped up in a piece of clay. I'm just drying it out. I'm going to be packing the kiln and firing it tomorrow. So just getting that ready. Yeah, I've got a few more of those to dip. These were what you saw me, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, which you saw yesterday. Well, I've actually put them face down, because always a good idea, invert your pots in the drying process so the bottom's dry. That's important. Yes, so I've got a few more tankards there on the stove, which we had on the other day. We don't have it on now, but because it's warmed up somewhat. And then I've got some GP bowls over there, which I'm going to raw glaze. So let's do that. Right, I'll just bring across a few of these guys. Hope you're all doing well out there. Yeah, that'll do for now. I just wanted to show you. I know I've done this tons of times before. By the way, lids, you know, like plastic lids that come on the top of things, are useful little saucers, you know, when you're, at least I find when I'm glazing. Just give this a stir. Right, so I have some cleaner water here and a sponge, and then this is my dipping jug there. So let's just quickly do this. I want you to have a go at doing this, because you can save yourself a lot of time doing raw glazing. Right, so here we go. So first thing, 3/4 fill your pitcher. Pour in about halfway, rotate it around, and then pour it out and twist it around as you pour. As soon as you've done that, go for your sponge. Okay, and now just wipe around the top like that. Doesn't matter if it's not pretty and you haven't got to get every little bit off. Just the idea is to thin it. As soon as I've done that, I do that, you see, with this. That equalizes the moisture content between the inside of the pot and the outside. That's my theory. I worked that one out myself. I don't know if it really helps, but I just do it. That's it. Wipe off around the top there. See, once you get in the way of doing this, it's actually quite fast. It's not as slow as you might think. Are we in the picture? Are we in the picture? Yeah, we are. Good. Good, good. The idea is just to wipe it over lightly quickly. Don't go over it and over it and over it, because you bring up all the grog, because this clay has not been fired, you see. And then it gets like, you know, when you get the grog up, brought out to the surface, it gets rough on the edge of the pot. And that's not good when it comes to, well, it doesn't feel good in the mouth, you know, you've got a gritty edge. So just lightly around like that. Okay. Save your bottles like this, they're very useful for spritzing. Okay, so that's that. Just to show you that quickly, I've done that before, I know, but we're about repeating in this studio. We repeat, repeat, repeat. Alright, that's how we learn. Alright, so that's those done. I've got the others on the stove there to do, but I want to move on. So, GP bowl. I'm going to do some of these with little pouring lips as well. Again, same idea as those little ramekins, the rolled rim. Because these are thrown to a gauge, and that means we can just put them together, you see, and fire them like that. Okay. Right, let's just do some of these. So to do these, we're going to pour some glaze in there like that, about that much, and now we're going to tip it over and start rotating it around like this, you see. Takes a little practice to do this, because you just got to develop a bit of a steady hand. Right, and now we pour out. That where we've poured over the edge there, we're going to wipe that back so that it follows the line, you see. Check the outside, hasn't got any spots. Alright, and there we are. Now, again, next. So these are bone dry, they're not leather hard. You do need a bit of a steady hand to do this. But a steady hand can be practiced. You may not have a steady hand particularly, but you can learn, at least I think you can, to develop a steady hand. Okay. Now, if when you're doing this rotation like I'm doing, and you don't manage to get it very good, maybe it goes a little bit too close to the edge, closer than you wanted. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to go around, and that place where it was a little high here, you see, I'm going to pour it out there. That's going to be the pour out place, where if it's a little bit, because I can come back over that, you see, with the sponge, and just make that correction. Check the outside, you haven't got any spatter. Yeah. be surprised, it's easy to get spatter. Alright. Last one. Don't want to be too hesitant or slow when you're doing this. It's easier and better if you have a little bit of rotation. Don't be too hesitant and slow. I'm going to wipe that off right now while the glaze is wet. Check the outside. Okay. And there it is. Right, so now these will, the next thing is actually what I'm going to do with these is put them over there, and I'm going to do some banding similar to these guys. You see a couple of lines banded there, a little motif on the inside, keeping it simple. I'm only keeping it just cobalt. It's actually quite difficult to do decoration on the inside of a bowl because the sides of the bowl impinge on your ability to move the brush. It kind of, you get a bit of a conflict there. So I don't find actually decorating on the inside of bowls particularly easy. With these, you know, I'm thinking I'm just maybe just do a couple of banded lines. Just a point to mention, because this is hand done, you're not going to get an absolutely straight edge perfect all the way around there. At this stage, when you look at it, that could bother you. But what happens when you put the pot on the banding wheel and you band a couple of lines like that, your eye is then distracted away from any unevenness of the glaze to the lines are straighter than your ability to glaze it all the way around perfectly, you see. So your eye is tricked, and you see the straight lines there, and you don't see any other imperfections. I shouldn't be telling you that, should I really? Anyway, then they're going to be like that, you see. Like that, you see, we can make a leaning trapeze. Put them in the kiln like that. You could fire that in the kiln like that. Alright, just make sure that they are located properly. Okay, folks. That's it for now. Make it a quick clip. Alright, so to recap, as I've told you before, Zoom clay, if you're interested on some throwing practice with me, Zoom clay, check my weekly schedule on my website. It's there. Pick your class that you want, pay for it with PayPal. I will then send you a Zoom link, and then I'll see you on my wheel. When you're on your wheel, I'll be on my wheel, and then we'll make together at the same time. Okay? And then there is workshops, tools as always. You know, my basic tools: sponge on a stick, leather, needle tool, throwing stick, etc. You know, my usual throwing tools that I sell. I do also sell a trim tool. And we've got a few other oddments like a table scraper. Keep practicing, you know, cleaning up your workbench. Okay, folks, thanks a lot. keep practicing. Have a go at raw glazing. Okay, and you can do raw glazing with cone 6. And what I would do is, if you think this is all terribly daunting and you don't know whether you've got the nerve to do it, don't be intimidated, alright? I'll tell you what to do. Do your usual bisque firing as you would normally do, but incorporate in your bisque firing a pot or two that you have done like I've done here. Raw glazed, dry raw glazed. Don't alter your glaze, okay? What you want to do is just apply the glaze like I've done, as if it was bisque, okay? And put that pot in your kiln pack, all right? Put the pot in there with the others and fire your kiln as usual. Just do 1 or 2 to start with, all right? And see what result you get. You might be pleasantly surprised. Okay, that's what I recommend. Okay, keep practicing. We'll see you around town. Bye for now.